Hello, my friends. All right, so this ass clown that's now the Speaker of House, he sends his proposal for funding for the Israelis, and as a caveat, basically wants to take the money that was earmarked as part of a previous agreement to help fund the IRS and use that money to send money to the Israelis. Sounds reasonable, right? Sure, sounds reasonable for this guy. I mean, this dude here, he's always sounds reasonable. Except we're still on that Uber agenda. So here's basically he's saying, if you want your money for Israel, you have to take it in the ass for the IRS. We're only going to pay for this if we can take the money from here. Surprised he didn't want to take it from Social Security. He didn't want to just borrow it from Social Security, just take it from Social Security funding. Oh, no, because we agreed we wouldn't do that. So we're going to do something else, right? We're going to get around that somehow. So in this case, we're going to, in traditionally speaking, this is where the frustration on the normie Republicans has grown with this man, is that in the past, when it comes to appropriations for defense money and for funding things like helping our allies fight a war and bomb the people they already held under their thumbs in the first place, is to just give us the money. No criteria, no ands, if, ands, or buts, no whatever. So we're not going to challenge it. We're just going to improve it and then go forward. And the fact that he's not willing to do that is throwing a lot of them into a tither, and they're cheesed off about it. So anyway, yeah, and like I said, I came across that picture there. This guy 100% is not a woman's friend. Most of the women in America are not uber conservative radicals like his wife. But they would have you tell you how to operate, how to function, what you can and can't do. Because a good little woman should stay at home, should raise children, look after the household, cater to her husband's needs, should not be bothered with that pesky thing like a job. If you absolutely have to have a job, well, then you should be a single spinster like it was 50, 70 years ago. This guy would have you all go back to the 40s and 30s. Not necessarily in a good way, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm a student of history, and it was pretty lawless and pretty hell-raising times then too. This so-called nuclear family for the American dream was not, Leave It to Cleaver and My Three Sons and all them kind of. You got to just watch some of them really old sitcoms and TV series to get a taste of what these fellas really think the world should still be like. And the fact that they're hell-bent on pushing us back there should worry everybody, because they don't stop. There's no such thing as a stop for these people. So here we are, already coming up on another crisis. Only a few more weeks before our current resolution to fund the government expires, and this ass clown's not going to push through anything that doesn't involve massive cuts into the programs that they want cut. And I don't mean tiny little adjustments. I mean let's gut the fish kind of things. This is the kind of crap this guy's just foaming at the mouth for. So when we get, like I said, when we get things like this, when he got sworn in, and we can get a bigger view of what these people are thinking on the inside in their head, because just look at Grandma there, the gal, the white-haired old granny lady there on the left, or on the right side of the screen, I guess it'd be your left, and to the left of Speaker Johnson, right? She was just basically telling the reporter to shut her mouth. How dare you ask questions? We'll tell you. We're the government. We'll tell you when you can ask a question. Hell, we'll give you the questions to ask. That's what we want. That's what Trump's MAGA crowd would like for your public information, for your reporters and things like that. It should be what we tell them to tell you. Here's the question. Here's the approved questions you're allowed to ask. Deviate from this approved list, and you will be somewhere far away. Maybe in a camp in the desert with a bunch of homeless people. Because that's what they want. Ask Trump. Trump already spelled that out. That's exactly his answer to doing stuff. Yeah. Every day they say more and more shit that reeks of frickin' Nazi Germany. Just, yeah. This guy here, you just gotta watch him, right? I mean, he's watching you. So, Mr. Speaker, you're not half as clever by a minute. You're not half as clever as you think you are, because you're not, it's blatantly obvious. Oh, we're going to defund their IRS. What's the real reason for wanting to defund the IRS? Out of all the other programs out there that you could have tried to squeeze that money out of for Israel, yes, you chose the IRS. That was your first get-go. Why was that? Now I'm going to put out two possibilities in my opinion. One being is, this man truly believes what he's saying, and he's going to do what he says he's going to do, whether we like it or not. And at the end of the day, he's going to keep pushing those through until Biden and the Senate has to agree with it. You want funding? You have to agree to this. This is the one we're sending you. Oh, you didn't like this? We're sending it back to you. Yeah, let's change. We'll change this. Let's put this. We'll remove this period. Now we'll send it back to you. Well, just keep doing that until you agree to it, or you don't get your funding. Because they know that. That's just the only leverage they have right now, and they know it. And they're going to try to utilize it as often as they can, as frequently as they can, until the elections come and we put half these clowns out of business. That's the end of the day. These guys have got to go, because you don't want more of these people. You want fewer of them in office. There's reasons why the crankpots should never be in charge. I'm just pointing out the obvious logic here, and this is scary. And the sad part is this guy's so likable. He's so nice and knowledgeable, and everybody wants to be his friend. Guys like this set off alarms in me from the minute I meet him. They're so artificial. They are so fake. They are so fake. They got some true believer convictions inside them, without a doubt. And a lot of those convictions are very dark. They're very hideous. And the scary part is they don't see it. They honestly do not believe what the rest of us see is with the facts. Or that's the rest of us that are warped and deranged or possessed by the devil, because we can't see the goodness in his heart. He's only doing this stuff out of love. Right? Yeah. It's just like those misguided Boberts and Taylor Greens going on about, the church should be in charge of the country. The country should not be taking orders from the people. It should be taking orders from the church. The government should be the church. The church should be the government. That's exactly what these people would love to have. But, no offense, here's my biggest problem with faith in religion today. From personal experience growing up. Like I said, both my grandparents were registered ministers. Two of my uncles were registered ministers. One of my aunts was a registered minister. She actually had a church, with the doors and the pews and the podium, just like my grandfather had back in the day, had a church. And what, these big, huge, massive, popular churches? No, but they were still churches. So at the end of the day, the church is an entity of people, of politics. All you got to do is look at the functionings of the Catholic hierarchy to understand how that works. And it's not always a good thing. And having an entity that's truly believes in their own line of bullshit in charge of everybody is a bad idea. Because these Christian nationals will murder everybody who's not a Christian national. You give them enough rope, most Americans are going to be hanging from the end of that rope. I'm not being shitting you. I'm not kidding you. Listen to them. And it's you just have to listen to the madness. The fact is, so many of them, these people equate Trump with being, divine in some way. Just goes to show you just how far off track the majority of the faith has gotten. The Christian faith in America is so diluted right now. It's disgusting. And it's not just that, but what I don't hear is a whole bunch of Christians stepping up and saying, "Look, dude, the Bible never said that. We weren't taught that. This isn't how we're supposed to behave. We're supposed to act. We're supposed to look after each other. We're supposed to treat our fellow man. This is how we're supposed." No, yeah, I don't hear any of them stepping up and going, "Wait a minute, this isn't right." They're like the Republicans that keeping their mouth shut. Too many of them should be opening their mouth and talking about the real problems that they are seeing within their own damn house before pointing fingers at everybody else. But they won't do that because they're too scared to. They're too hidebound as us or them. All this absolute crap. This is where our country's going to have This is where the cliff. There's the edge of the cliff. When the absolutes become the only method of achieving anything in America, Americans done for. Because at that point, it doesn't matter who's in charge. All we'll have is a never-ending rollover of things. So the Republicans in charge this year, and we're going to do away with this, and we're going to stop this, and we're going to stop that. We're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And then 4 years later, the Democrats in charge. Oh, well, we're going to reinstitute that. We're going to refund that. We're going to restart that. We're going to reintegrate that. We're going to start a new program similar to that. And then the Republicans come back, and we see this just. Nothing functions that way. Over the long run, in the long term, that is terribly destructive, and it will not function at the end of the day. So Speaker Johnson, no offense, dude, you can go yank your own damn Johnson because you're not yanking ours. And this idea that you're still, it's blatantly clear you're still pushing this MAGA agenda. Well, we've approved this and we've approved that. Yeah, so you've gotten Matt Gaetz. What Matt Gaetz wanted was individual funding proposals for everything that comes through the door. So fine, you want to propose, you want to vote on 200-300 funding bills every damn quarter. So be it. Get your asses to work and do it. But it's when you start tying these conditions to these things that it becomes political and it becomes blatant. So it's not enough that we can't fund money, we can't fund, we got to defund the IRS. Well, the reasons for defunding the IRS is because Trump told you to do it. Trump wants it done. The billionaire wealthy tax cheats of this country want the IRS out of their business. If they had their way, they would pay nothing to the IRS or to the government, to the IRS at all. And we need the IRS in order to have a functioning government in the first damn place. You can't pay for anything if you can't collect the money that's owed to you. Let's be honest. If it was if everybody was to, if we were to do the proper thing like they do in church, we would just give 10% of our income to the government, and we give 10% of our income to God. Except that 10% doesn't go to God, does it? It goes to the church, the entity, and it goes in the pockets of the fuck asses like this guy here. Once again, I seen a lot of that in those church groups that I was associated with and drug around with and made to hang out with as a kid. I'm just telling you, the hypocrisy knows no limits, and it's no different behind a pulpit or up on the damn the podium. No different. And so the fact that they're trying to, you think that's going to stop? He's just going to keep sending the same damn shit back and be a variation on the same theme every time until somebody there says desperate enough to get that money for Israel signs the bill. That's just it. They're going to use it's my way or no way. You take this or you don't get nothing. And he'll keep pushing that until he's no longer speaker. And the only way to remove him from the speakership at this point, because his own party's not going to vote him out, is, to get enough people voted to flip that damn house over to the Democrats. Not that the Democrats will do anything with it. The last 4 years of Obama was all Democrats. Am I wrong? Was a Democratic president, Democratic-led Senate, and a Democratic-led Congress. And what did we get? What did we really get out of that 4 years? Jack. And one of the reasons we got so little out of it is because the Democrats will not do the same thing the Republicans do. The Republicans will say F the, F the Democrats, and we got enough to vote, so we're going to vote through this thing, and we're going to vote it and push it through ourselves and get it done. And whereas the Democrats will want to work with across the aisle, we have to have a consensus. We need to have some Republicans. Well, we couldn't get any Republican support, so we just, it just died in Congress. It just died in committee because we couldn't get bullshit. If you have the majority, you've got the same. You do the same bullshit that they do. There's the dangerous slope I talked about earlier. That's the hypocrisy. At the point we reach when both sides, both parties just decide it's our way and nothing, and so only way they do anything is when they're in charge, and then it's all about doing their thing, and correcting and changing and fixing or eliminating things that the other party did when they were in charge. That way, when it's their turn to be on charge again, and you're not, then they're going to change things and alter things and fix things and take things away and try to fix the stuff that you did. And then 4 years later, we see this, and then we just do this shit for the next 30 years until the whole system just falls apart, literally disintegrates under the weight of hypocrisy and apathy and stupidity. It's just what it is. So, Mr. Speaker, you're an ass clown, and you need to get your act together. I mean, you need to be a little bit more proactive when it comes to being fair for everybody. This trying to be slick about how you're trying to still push your same old tired narrative is bullshit. And I call it on it. I call this guy out on bullshit. Anyway, till next time. To exist.